Hi, welcome to another episode of Life Changers, and this is Mike. So today, as you saw in the title, we're going to talk about, are you stuck on autopilot? And then you might be like, Mike, I'm not a pilot. That was a bad dad joke. But no, a lot of us don't realize that we have the same routines that we do over and over. We wake up around the same time. We probably have the same routine on the same side of the bed. You get out, you make your coffee the same way, and so on and so forth. So are you stuck on autopilot? What you got to do is look into yourself and see if you're stuck on autopilot. See if there's things that you're doing that is just automatic, that you're not in control anymore. Because if you're stuck on autopilot, your body's just going to go through the routine and do the same things. You're going to get the same results. So if you want to change the results, then you have to change the autopilot and take control and get it off autopilot. So you can't manifest anything you want if you are stuck on autopilot, because then, yeah, you might be motivated for that time period that you're trying to manifest. And then when you loop back around, well, you're stuck on autopilot. So then you're just going to end up just going through the same routine and you'll get the same results. Do you know what the definition of insanity is? The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. So you can't have a different result, and you can't have everything in the world that you're trying to manifest if you are stuck on autopilot. And you might think, oh, me stuck on autopilot. No. We all resort back to our autopilot or our pre-programming. We need to understand that in order to change your reality, to change and manifest anything that you want, we have to be in control. We cannot be in autopilot and just expect things to happen because, well, Mike told me if I made a vision board, it's going to happen. Or Mike said this, and Mike on Life Changer said that. Well, okay, but you have to listen to all the episodes if you want to get the meat on the bone there. I don't know if that's the right term, but sounded good in my head. But yeah, you cannot manifest your dream life if you are stuck on autopilot and you're not open to receiving what the universe is bringing to you. And that when your higher self is just saying, hey, come over here, do this. Come over here, do that. There's times where I believe that I'm like really hardcore, like not on autopilot. And then I realize, holy smokes, I'm on autopilot again. I got to turn that off. So, you know me and my stories. Story time. I should just make that a thing. Like every time I tell a story time. Jazz hands. Yeah, I'm in a giggly mood today. I don't know why. But, and fun fact is, we're doing live on TikTok right now. I don't know if anybody's watching because I just blocked it because I was getting distracted looking at people, not talking. So I digress. So if anybody's listening on TikTok, hey, welcome. Anyways, everybody listening on Audible right now is like, what the hell's going on? This guy's nuts. He forgot his medication. No, but I digress. So, story time, where there's times where I'm thinking that I'm like in control of, I guess, my body and my mind. And then I look back and realize like, hey, I'm just doing the same program, just in a different way. So how do you know, and how can you tell if you're running on autopilot? Just look back at your days and see if you're kind of doing roughly the same things. And when you're driving into work, if you drive into work, if you're not lucky enough to work from home, but if you're driving into work, if you're take the same paths, if you end up seeing the same people every day on the road, the same person jogging at the exact same time every day. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing to have a routine, as we call it. But when you're in a routine, it's almost kind of like an autopilot because that routine becomes just automatic. And I know I'm repeating and repeating, but this is the only way we're going to understand, right? Look back. You are probably running your autopilot, your pre-programming. And if you want to change any of that, you have to change your routine. So I'd make a new routine that's better. But then you're like, hey, Mike, if I make a new routine where I wake up at 7 a.m. to meditate for half an hour, then I have my coffee and my shower, whatever routine you have, and take off to work, aren't I just on autopilot again? You're probably right. That's it. I'm done. No, we're all learning together. But I'm just assuming that if you're going to wake up at 7 in the morning and start meditating, that you're going to be in control of the universe and your world, your universe. You got to understand, like, I'm not talking about you controlling the whole universe, the galaxy, like the whole world. You're controlling your world, your perspective of your world. Just like we talked in other episodes, you're either going to have a perspective of doom and gloom or happy-go-lucky. You're going to have the perspective of the world's my oyster, or you're going to have the perspective of, oh, everybody out there is trying to get me. Or you're going to have the perspective of, oh, I'm going to get hurt today, or something's going to happen, and negative perspective, right? But in the end, I say this a lot, in the end, you want to have your reality the way you want it. So if you're not happy with the way your autopilot or your program is running now, we'll change it. You can literally have anything. It's all about shifting your perspective and then understanding that you're in control of your world and then reprogramming it for better. And you might want to have a mantra that keeps you on track, right? Just like I have one, Hakuna Matata. Oh, The Lion King. It always comes up in a lot of episodes. But no, The Lion King, they got it right. Like Hakuna Matata, man. There's means no worries for the rest of your days. Why worry? Why stress? There's a lot of things that we cannot control, but we can control our perspective and how we feel and our universe. And that can change everything. Just like, just like, I digress. But just like when you have like that one story I had where somebody hit my car when it was parked, it's like I could be all mad and pissed off and, oh, I'm making a bad day. Or I'm just going to be like, yeah, whatever. At least I have insurance and I get a new car. Probably a better car. Right? But if you want to change the program that you're running, you have to work from the inside out. And it's hard. Trust me. I'm trying to change and reprogram. I want to wake up at 7 in the morning to meditate every morning. And then I want to meditate before I go to bed. Because I find when I meditate, I do like guided meditation. And I find when I do that, I just start opening my mind and just start understanding things better. Is there times and situations out there that when you're out in the world and you just know things, or you know something's going to happen, or you just feel that something good's going to happen, or you just can predict things? Well, that's your higher self knocking at your door, going, hey, let me in. Let's rule the world together. Let's create together. Let's change our perspective. And by changing your perspective, you allow your new reality to come into play. So what do you want? Think about, get a paper and a pen. Write down if you're not driving, or when you get to work, or when you get back home, whenever you have time. But just think about, what do you want to be running? What kind of autopilot do you want to be running? Let's hack the system. So we all know that by having an autopilot, it can be a bad thing if you're just doing the same thing and you're not progressing in anything. But let's hack it. We're going to hack it today, everybody. Anybody wants the hack codes? Okay, it's 0011011001. Put that in your computer. No, I'm just joking. But if you want to hack, this is a hack. Here's Life Changer's first life hack, everybody. But here's a hack. Run the autopilot and change things as you want, as you will, and your life will be 10 times better. So what do you want to run in your autopilot? Do you want it to be every time you go to work? I don't know what the heck people want to run on their autopilot. I got everything I want in life. I'm happy because I don't need anything. Just be happy. This whole episode is breaking down, everybody. No, you know what's going to be the funny part is this episode's going to end up being one of the better ones. Everybody's going to be like, you know what, Mike? That was a good episode. We're only 10 minutes in, and I'm just lost for words. But no, let's hack the autopilot system. So figure out the autopilot program that you don't want, like things you don't want to do. or you don't care about and change it. So if you want to start meditating more often, meditate more often. Put that into your autopilot. And you're like, Mike, why do I need to meditate? Because meditation is good. It helps you to ground yourself and to explore more. And you got to understand, like, the proper meditations that I found work for me through Dr. Joe Dispenza. And there's all these different methods, right? There's the water method where you picture like water rising, and there's the body parts and stuff like that. But like the one I like the most is like when you're in meditation mode, you're nothing. Just got to understand, like, just tell yourself you're nothing. You're in the blackness, right? If you find that one by Dr. Joe Dispenza, it's a good one. It might sound weird at first, but once you listen to it and get into the meditation, it will change your life. And that's what Life Changers is all about, changing lives. But I digress. Let's hack the system. So now we know how we can hack the system. And I know I didn't really give you good examples, but here's a life hack that could work for you in your reality. Think of something you want. Anything. If you want to lose weight, if you want to have a better memory, better eyesight, if you want money. Now think of something you do every day that's part of your autopilot. And go, well, every time I do this thing, this result will happen. And it's kind of like programming yourself and programming like the universe to be like, hey, well, every time I brush my teeth, I'm going to get an extra $5,000 in my bank today. And it'll help by putting that out there in the universe, putting that frequency out there to attracting wealth. And then you'll have different things that might come your way. Or every time I take a shower, I'm going to lose 5 pounds. It might sound crazy, but I'm testing this theory out, and I've been doing it for a few days now, and I'll let you know how it goes. But this is a little hack that I found. I was listening to somebody on YouTube, and yeah, they're saying like, this is how you can hack the matrix, as they say. But yeah, there's all these different hacks and all these different things you can do to better your reality. And it's just up to you. And you know what? I was just sitting there thinking, you know what's funny? I went to a Christmas party this last weekend with my family and my extended family, like on my wife's side. And I told 1 or 2 people about like the Life Changer podcast, how we're on Audible and Spotify and so on. And my brother-in-law was like, are you hiding this from people? Like, is there a reason why you're not like posting on the family groups and stuff? And I was like, well, I don't know. I'm just not telling certain people because if it's meant to find you, it will find you. And I feel like the 2 people I told, they might benefit from it if they want to listen to it. It's up to them. But I just figured the people that need to hear this will hear it. The people that need to hear about autopilot will hear it. So if you type in Google autopilot and how it works and you get this, hey man, this found you. So run with it. There's things that will come your way and come into your life that you just can't explain. But if you let it go and you don't listen, you don't know what you're going to miss out on. There's lots and lots of times where my higher self and the universe was just giving me these little snippets, these little things, and I just ignored it. And it just went away. One time, a long time ago, when I was a young lad, living in Quebec, in the wintertime, in the cold north. No, but yeah, I was just out there, just communicating, just thinking to myself and feeling like I was having a conversation with the universe or my higher self or anything you want to call it. And I would ask the questions like, tell me the truth about this, tell me the truth about how the life changers work. How does law of attraction work? And I was just asking all these questions. And one of the answers came to me was, I could answer everything you want in the world, but if you're not going to do anything with the answers, there's no point. You're going to end up in the same place you were yesterday. You just might have a little more answers, but you're still going to be running the same autopilot. And you need to know that there's nothing you can and nothing you cannot do. The only person limiting you and is stopping you from achieving your goals, from achieving anything you want, is you. There's no excuses. If you don't like the autopilot you're running, you don't like the program that's running, it's up to you to change it. And if you don't want to change it, well, it's your problem. You have to understand that you are in full control of every aspect of your reality. You can control on what you're attracting and what you're not attracting. So if there's I used to get a lot of negative people in my life coming my way, and I'm not a negative person, as we talked about before. And we mentioned my wonderful mother. Sometimes she thinks people are out to get her because she's French. And she lives in Alberta now. But I digress. But I'm not a negative person. And I used to think, I'm attracting all these negative people and all these people that need help because I'm going to help them. They need me to help them. But now I realize I was attracting these people just because that's the frequency I was putting out in the world. Everything is energy. And if you want to learn the energy and attracting the certain energies that you need, the only one person that can tell you this and help you with it is you. By connecting to your higher self, connecting to the universe, connecting to your God, connecting to anything that grounds you in this world and will help you and give you inspiration, give you answers, and open your eyes. Sometimes I'm talking with my kids or my wife, and I'm just telling them things, and they're just like, yeah, you sound crazy, don't talk about that in your podcast. But you know what? I'm just going to talk about whatever I feel the universe telling me to talk about. So I'm trying a new thing in studio right now. I'm sitting here with my eyes closed because I get distracted easily. That if I'm looking at the TikTok live right now, if I'm looking at the screen where the audio technician's working, and if I see him doing anything, like as much as I'm a positive thinker and positive person, I do notice a lot of negativity trying to enter my brain, where every time I see, let's say somebody coming on to watch the live, and then they take off, like they watch 5 seconds and leave, and then I'm like, oh, they must hate me, they must think I suck, right? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Why is that? Or every time I see the audio technician writing a note or writing something, I'm like, what did I do wrong? Like, is it not working? Is it not good? But so I'm going to try to close my eyes and reprogram myself to who cares? Let it flow. Let it happen the way it needs to happen generically. Instead of trying to time these episodes and trying to control, just let go and listen and follow the programming that you want to run. And write it down. If you're a visual person and you need to write it down, write it down. Write down what program you want to be running. Write down if you want to learn the frequency of love, the frequency of money, abundance, appreciation, or anything like that. And start inserting it into your program. Let's hack the system. A lot of times people are like, well, what you're saying is too good to be true, or it sounds too easy. It's that easy. I used to think making money was so hard. I used to be happy when I hustled and made like $100, $50. I used to go out and just find a hustle and make some money. And I used to be like, wow, I made good money today. I made $200 or $100. I used to shovel people's walkways. I charge $20. Takes me 10 minutes. But if you do the math, you could do a heck of a lot of walkways in an hour if you got them close together. I make some good money. You probably make up to like $100 to $200 an hour. But the only person that limits you is you, the way you think, the way you're programming yourself, the autopilot that you're running. It all comes back to you. I could sit here and tell you 1,000,001 ways on how to start a business, how to make a lot of money, or attracting the right job. It's easy. I really find it easy. One time I was having a discussion with one of my friends when he first moved to Ontario from Quebec. And I said, you can come live with me for a while. And then he's saying it's hard to get a job. I'm like, no, it's not. You might not want the job at first, but how the law of attraction works is when you're not like chasing, you're not running hard and looking and saying, demanding, I need all this, then everything comes to you. So take the job, the first job offer somebody gives you, and then the rest will follow. And then you could take the upgraded job and so on and so forth. But he's like, oh, no, I can't get a job. So for fun, I went to Toyota and I applied and I got a job that night. And this happened like years ago. Yeah, I literally walked in, told myself I already got the job, and I got the job. They just had to make sure I wasn't colorblind. Because you working with car parts. And I ended up on the manufacturing line with, the big machines and the prints, plastic pieces, and then we had to put parts on it and so on. But I digress. But the only person that is stopping you from success, you have to understand. You might be like, oh, no, it's not me. It's everybody around me. It's all. No. The only person that allows all these people into your life is you. If you're not happy with the people around you, well, you could change it. Well, I can't change it. It's my family. Well, then you got to start understanding that there's going to be people in your life that you might not like, or that might have negative energy and brings you down. But you got to remember that if, especially with family, like I have family members that I love because we're family, but they're draining if you hang out with them too long. But I don't know, that's just because that's my reality. That's the program that I'm running, I guess. But no, you just got to understand that you could change anything. Just change the way you think about that person. And then you see that person change. You don't believe me? Try it. Test it. If you have not already made a test on anything I'm talking about, well, make a test. This should be your test. Your test should be, there's people in my life that are in my life because we're family or it's my boss or whatever. Change the way you think about them. Change the way you put them out in the world and how you talk about them to other people. And change it from a negative to a positive. And I guarantee you, something will change. And you'll see the positive side or the other part of them that you haven't seen before on this individual. Because that's how it works. Whatever you're focused on, whatever you're attracting is what you're going to see. So if you want to make more money or get a better job or find love, stop talking about the lack thereof. Stop thinking of the lack thereof. Stop chasing. Stop running after. Stop running the same autopilot where you're just looping around, where you have hope that you wish you're doing better and you have all these motivation, and then it goes to the bottom part when then you're back to where you ended up and you're like, what happened? Because by learning all these different techniques, if you don't actually apply them, or hearing anything that we're talking about and you don't actually apply it into your life, into your reality, and see how you could benefit from it, well, then you won't benefit from it. And that's why, I'm trying to create my community through Life Changers, and the community that we could all be a part of, the community that we could all feel important, feel loved. Everybody needs positive affirmation in their lives. Positive affirmation is actually a good reinforcement. So if you don't wake up and listen to positive affirmations or give yourself positive affirmations, well, think about what you are doing. I just sitting here talking, and yeah, I sometimes am negative to myself, I guess, and put myself down without even realizing it, because that's the autopilot I'm running. I make jokes, because I used to be fit, and then I moved to Ontario. I don't think the food's good. No, I'm joking. Food's better in Quebec, no. But then I got bigger, whatever. But it's me. I chose to get like this. If I'm not happy with my situation, I could change it. But the one hard part is motivation. If we are not motivated, then we're not going to do anything. So let's build this community. Let's build Life Changers. Let's not only make it a podcast that we're listening to or make it a TikTok or anything like that. Let's start building a community. Let's start interacting with each other. Let's start giving each other positive affirmations. Let's get all the like-minded people together and let's change our worlds. Let's change our reality. Let's make this universe and this world a better place for everybody. And the only way we're going to do that is together. And just remember that you are loved, you are important, that you're amazing, and you could do anything in the world and the universe that you want. You've got to put your mind to it. After watching the movie The Matrix, many years ago, just resonates with me, but just thinking about it these days, I was telling my wife that I believe if we truly believe that we can defy gravity, we can. But the only thing that's limiting us is the way we think and the way us. So I'll let you know if I defy gravity. I'll keep you posted. But just know how amazing you are and how important you are. And that without you, we wouldn't have life changers. I love you, each and every one of you. You're all important. You're all amazing. And I'm not just saying that for the podcast. I'm saying it because I mean it. And I'm putting it out in the universe. And if you close your eyes, you'll feel how much love there is in this world. And the frequency of that love and importance that I'm throwing out there to everybody that's listening. I just want you to know that, yes, you are a work in progress. Take it one day at a time. You're amazing. Once again, this is Mike, and this is Life Changers.